We were up with the birds, dressed the kids, and headed for the Durango station to pick up our reservations. This was our big adventure on the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. We hurried to catch the second train of the morning. It was comforting to know that the crew were highly skilled professional railroad men. There is a wonderful roundhouse here where they can completely rebuild this historic equipment. This railroad runs right on time, and today is no exception. The railroad runs right through the center of Durango. You know, Durango was laid out by the railroad's builder, William Jackson Palmer. The Animas River runs through Durango too. The line follows the river for many miles. The Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad uses 6 different engines. This one is called a K-24 Mikado. We're going through one of the most beautiful valleys in the southwestern Colorado. Horses, cattle, and often deer and elk can be seen. The roadbed has to be well maintained. "11 miles north of Durango, the real climb begins in earnest. The engine really goes to work. The scenery is constantly changing, but always so beautiful. This Shaloma Lake is a real jewel. Photographers love the train crossings. The train stops at Rockwood for passengers. This hamlet was a construction camp when they were building this section. Just beyond Rockwood, a high barrier of red rock separates the hamlet from the gorge of the Animas River. The big challenge to the construction engineers was how to get through that barrier. Drillers and powdermen blasted a cut through the barrier. The cut leads to an abyss. A cliff looms high above the cut and plunges into the river hundreds of feet below the cut. Beyond that granite barrier, the surveyors decided the track should seek the level of the river for the remaining 27 miles up the gorge. We were so lucky to have seats on the riverside of the car. On the return trip, passengers on the other side of the car had the same thrill. The Animas River scenery is just great. You can't see it from the highway. We passed over Cascade Creek, by a water tank, and through Elk Park in the next 25 miles. The San Juans are the most beautiful mountains in Colorado. And there's more than scenery here too. Old mine structures are everywhere. The scenery rivals many national parks, but the miners were here first, for the cry of gold was just too great. Smoke and whistle announced the next train arrival. Mineral Creek joins the Animas River just south of Silverton. Before the highway and before the train, winter meant that Silverton was really snowed in. Our train passes a coal tipple. then curves up 12th Street, slowly coming to a halt. The conductor sets the steps, and we emerge into a time of 100 years ago. The first train is already parked alongside our train. It had arrived before us, discharged its passengers, and then turned around at the Y. This railroad does a great job of handling 4 trains a day on 2 tracks. Now we were on foot, but this doesn't matter because we can easily walk everywhere. Lunch is on our minds. There is no shortage of places to eat. Mountain bikers enjoy the mountain air and the historic district. There is more to do than we have time for. Wow, intriguing shops. Silverton is a National Historic District. A free guidebook will direct you on a walking tour of all the buildings. Each one has a bronze plate identifying it. Silverton is surrounded by beautiful snow-capped mountains. Photo opportunities abound. There are plenty of places to eat, and save time for sightseeing or shopping. The Silverton Standard and the Miner is still published and makes an interesting stop. The historic district is well maintained and is Colorado's largest. San Juan County Courthouse is immaculately preserved and is complemented by the Historical Society Museum right next door. Soon our train whistle calls us back before we are ready. We know that we must return for several days' visit. There is so much to do. Farewell to Silverton, but we will return.